Right, thanks for that. Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us on the Tourism UT Trade Training Program webinar series. My name's Katherine Smith. I'm the Distribution Coordinator at Tourism UT and I'm joined here today by my colleague Gabrielle Deacon. Welcome, Gabs, and thanks for joining us. And before today, and before we start today, we want to respectfully acknowledge and honour the Aboriginal people of the Northern Territory and recognise the continuation of culture, connection to lands, water and country, and we pay our respects to elders past, present and future. So just before we start today, just please ensure your video is off and you're on mute. If you've got any questions, please send them through the chat box and we'll get to them just at the end of every presentation. And we will be recording this presentation, so we'll have this on our website later in the week. So welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We know everyone's really busy at the moment, but we've got lots of people here today from across Australia and New Zealand. So thank you for coming along. Life seems to be getting back pretty much to normal in Australia after COVID, which is great. And we know that New Zealand's still a little bit in the thick of things, but hopefully we'll all be post-COVID very soon. And we know that we're busy, so we don't want to take up too much of your time today. So I'm just going to share my screen. Is that all good, Gabs?
Yep, that's looking great. Thanks, Karen.
Oh, okay. So today we're going to be focusing on some of the really great Aboriginal products that we have in the NT. We've got a lot on offer, but today we've got two operators joining us. So we have Lauren Woodward from Maruku Arts. They're based in Uluru and they offer a dot painting workshop amongst other things. We also have Patrina Ariston from Didj Cultural Experience and Art Gallery, and they're in Katherine in the in the top end, and they have got an interactive, Didj is an interactive cultural experience, and they've also opened a new art gallery which Patrina will talk to us a little bit about. Thank you for joining us today, Lauren and Patrina. But before we hear from them, I have a few updates just to take you through quickly. So I'll do that now. So if you're new to the program and you're not 100% sure where exactly the NT is, we are top and centre of Australia. We refer to two main regions as the top end. That's Darwin, Kakadu, Arnhem Land, Katherine and the Tiwi Islands. And we have the red centre, which is Uluru, Alice Springs, Kings Canyon and Tennant Creek. So as I mentioned, we have the two main regions. They have very different seasons. In the top end, we are currently in the dry. So this is the optimum time to visit, I guess. It lasts between May and October. The temperatures are between 21 and 32 degrees, which are about the same as what they are during our tropical summer, but during the dry, the humidity is very low. It's about 20 to 30 degrees, so it's a really nice time to visit, and there's little to no rain. In the red centre, we're in winter, so like the rest of Australia and New Zealand, these seasons are very similar. The average temperature is up to about 20 degrees, but it can get below freezing overnight. So it does get quite cold, and it's really important that clients are aware of this and that they bring some warm clothing, because when you're in the red centre, it's really good to layer because it does get quite cold in the morning, but it warms up during the day. Just a couple of updates with flights. So the networks are pretty much back to normal. You probably all know this. There's still some flight cancellations happening, but this is really a resourcing issue, just due to people being sick with COVID and the flu now too. So it's not a demand thing. And I'll just give me that. And the only real update that we've got is that Qantas will be starting new flights from Cairns to Ayers Rock in September. They were due to start in about August. There's been a bit of a delay with that. And they've also cancelled a direct route from Alice Springs to Perth, which is a bit of a shame. Just a couple of product updates for you. I mentioned Glen Helen last year when the G'day group bought Glen Helen Lodge. So this is about an hour and a half west of Alice Springs, and Glen Helen is the area. It's a really beautiful location. You can see that here. It's in the West MacDonnell Ranges. So Glen Helen is a lodge and campground. So Discovery Parks have invested $5 million into here to doing a big refurb. So they'll be updating some of the lodge rooms. They're also building a new deck, as well as upgrading their campground. So it's a really popular spot for camping, but it's also the only real accommodation in that area too. So it's great that they're investing this money to updating it. So the G'day Group also bought what was formerly the Kings Canyon Resort, and they've renamed that Discovery Kings Canyon, and they're investing $40 million into this as well, which is great news for us. So they're refurbing 100 rooms in the resort at the moment. You can see them in the photo here. They look really great. They've also got 28 new powered sites in their campgrounds. There's a big campground there as well. They're modernising their reception area. They're refurbing their restaurant, the Thirsty Dingo, and they've also got some new tours on offer. So it's a really good little package there out at Kings Canyon. So Kings Creek Station, this is also in Kings Canyon. It's about half an hour before you get to the canyon. They've got a new glamping option. It's called Drover's Dream. They'll have 10 fully self-contained glamping tents. So they have an ensuite. They've also got barbecues, so people can cook their own food there. They're situated on their own private escarpment, and it overlooks the George Gill Range. So you can see in the top image there, the views are really outstanding. It's a beautiful area. It's a really cool setup at Kings Creek. So they'll be online from July. So that's another really great option in the Kings Canyon area. We also have the Tiwi Island Retreat. So this is one of Matt Wright's products. You might have seen him on his program Wild Territory last night. They've been talking, or they've been doing a little bit of building on that show, and what they were building is now open. So there was already a lodge at the Tiwi Islands, and they've extended that now out to some ensuite glamping tents. So they're offering 2 to 3 night packages. So it's all inclusive. They'll fly you in, you get your accommodation, use of all of the facilities. These the meals and non-alcoholic beverages are included. They have some cool things happening like a beach bonfire. You can also go fishing. So it's a really good option for people wanting to do something really different. And also if you've got a client that's really into fishing and wanting to do something a little bit different to what else is on offer, this is a really good option. So their packages start from 3,220 for a single or 4,352 for a twin. So that's a nice option at the Tiwi Islands. And if you have clients that are really into cycling, we have a new operator called the Top End Cycling Adventures. They've got a couple of really good packages on offer. The 6-day tour of the Top End includes going out to Kakadu, Litchfield and Nipmuc National Parks. They do about 20 to 30 k's of cycling every day on mountain bike tracks and on roads. And they also take their clients into some secret trails, which is pretty cool. They have a 7-day tour as well, and that's just an extension of the 6-day, but also heading into the Douglas Daily. But the cycling on these days is a lot longer. So if you've got someone that's a much bigger fanatic of biking, then that would be a good option for them. They do about 70, they can do about up to 70 k's a day, but they do have a support vehicle, so that's also a good option. Just to touch on a couple of events that we have coming up. It's our peak season, as I mentioned, so there's always a lot happening during this time. The Down Festival will take place in August. It's a really good festival, a really good mix of performances and dance and songs and all sorts of things taking place over that time. So this year they'll have Tim Minchin up there, they'll have Tom Gleeson with his Hard Quiz live up there as well. The Australian Ballet is going to be there. There's also a really good range of Aboriginal music and dance and performance on offer. Another festival which you may not be that familiar with is the Barunga Festival. Now, Barunga is a community about 80 k's south of Katherine, and in August they run a camping weekend which is full of sport and traditional music and arts and cultural activities. So they encourage Indigenous and non-Indigenous people to attend, and everyone camps, and it's a really fun 3-day event. So that's a really nice option for something different. Desert Mob is a art festival that takes place every year in Alice Springs. It showcases a really comprehensive range of contemporary Aboriginal artists from Northern Territory, South Australia and Western Australia. So this year the first week will include some storytelling from artists around the desert. So it's called Art art centres on screen, so it will be online. They'll also have a whole lot of new artworks on offer in Alice Springs, and on the final day of the festival, everything's for sale. So they have a big art sale and lots of Aboriginal weaving and ceramics and all sorts of artwork is on sale. So that's quite a cool thing to attend as well. In Kakadu, we have the Bird Week. This is a really popular event. It takes place in the last week of September, first week of October. So during this week, there's lots of lectures that are all about birding in the Kakadu region. They have cultural events. There'll be just a huge range of bird watching opportunities on offer. We also have the Didj Cinema. So this is a yearly event. It runs during the dry season. It's a really cool event to with option to do of what you can do at night when you're staying in Darwin. The evenings are so lovely and mild, so you can come along and get your ticket and watch a movie at the cinema. And we also have some really great markets that take place. So there's the Mindle Beach markets. They also run during the dry season. There's lots of food on offer, lots of beautiful Asian food on offer. People will usually get something to eat and then go and sit on the beach and go and watch the sunset, which is a really nice thing to do. There's lots of arts and crafts on for sale as well. And there's also the prep markets. They are in Darwin. They run all year round. And Prep is a suburb of Darwin, and they've got lots of nice food on offer as well. So a good option for people that are travelling outside of the dry season. But just to touch on our incentives, so thanks to everybody that took part in our last quarter. For the February quarter, we had two $5,000 packages up for grabs. So Hannah Palmer from Holidays of Australia and Therese Oliver from Narracourt Travel and Cruise won a $5,000 package each. So congratulations to them. This quarter, as a final shebang for the financial year, we've got a $10,000 package on offer. That's $9,000 to spend on product in the NT. So you can definitely do a lot with that, as well as a $1,000 Webjet voucher. So to be in the draw to win that, you just need to have registered and attended a webinar, which of course you're all doing right now. If you have a colleague that has missed it, they can watch that online. We'll have it online in the next day or two, so they can go on for a chance as well. And you need to complete our latest module. So you can find this on our trade website, which is trade.northernterritory.com/module, and the latest module is called the Best of the Top End. So you have until the 30th of July to do that. So now I want to hand over to our operators. We have next got on Lauren from Maruku Arts. Lauren, are you there?
Hello, I'm here.
Do you want to pop your camera on?
Yep, I've got it on.
Oh, yep, great.
Yeah.
Yours.
I just had to. Hello, everybody. I'm Lauren from Maruku Arts, and shortly I'm going to get Karen to play a little video just to give you a bit of an introduction into our dot painting workshop. So these run daily in Uluru, which is where the resort is. So if you have guests that are staying at the resort, everything's within walking distance. So this will give you a bit of context, and then after we've finished watching this video, I'll open up for some questions, but explain a little bit more about who we are and what we do at Maruku. This video has got one of our Untitled artists, Sarah, and it'll give you some context in regards to our dot painting workshop and what your clients would experience. So I'll get Karen just to press play.
Oh, pala.
Palya. Palya. Duduk
Ah,
ini.
oh, ngay ko ini Sarah.
Oh, wow. Palya. So, hello. Sarah just introduced herself. She said that her name is Sarah and my name is Dana. And we're from Maruku Arts.
Oh, na kore padal pe na mandang wal.
Oh, Palya. So, today Sarah is speaking in Pitjantjatjara, which is the local Ananu language. And she's going to do some sand drawings for you. Because this is the way that Ananu would teach their stories and their chukupa to other people.
Bana?
Palya.
Oh. Oh, ka kore padal ni mandang. Oh, na ang kape kapi. Oh, poli ang ora.
So now Sarah has drawn some circles in the sand, and she said that this one can represent a few different things. She said it can represent kapi, which is water, also nora, which is home or country, an important place, and also waru, which is a fire.
Mana eri walkawi. Na waya kadalpe. Na pala ni tali.
Mono iti.
Una iti garpe.
So this one here, she said, is called a piti or a wira, which is the women's bowl. Sarah said that this one is made from the mormortwa tree, which is the desert bloodwood, eucalyptus. It can also be made from itara, which is the river red gum as well. She said that the women again would use a nice sharp stone to cut away at it, create this beautiful shape. And they would carry all of their beautiful bush food in here, like their bush plum, their bush fig, their bush tomatoes, those witchetty grubs and honey ants would all go inside here. And then Sarah said they would use their mungari, put that on their head and their bowl on top. Makes it easy for them to carry their food through the country. On the rocks, and that's how they would pass on their traditional knowledge and their stories. But now we have a different way of passing on knowledge, and that's through canvas. So these here are the very same stories, just a different way to show them. Oh, palya, this one,
Pala.
one monokali palya.
Mana nga pole marko.
So Sarah said, first of all, you can see that map of the area that she drew earlier in the sand. You can see Uluru, Katherine, and Attila, the three rocks.
Nga min mayda. Kung kalakan. Pala na wana manawera.
So Sarah said here you can see that U shape, and we have women sitting down. And she said these are the 7 sisters. And here you can see their wana, their digging stick, and their wira, their bowl in front of them.
Mana wate kocha. Wala kaini kola mero. Wate nyero.
So here she said we have one man, and this man is Wadi Niru, and he has his spear and his spear thrower.
Pala. Na wangkani walka. Wana wangka pe arngoli kampra. Na jan na purno jan. Kapi dali. Na kalin dali.
Palya. So Sarah's just saying that the dots that you see in the background here represent different landscapes. And these are the landscapes that these 7 sisters and this Wadi Niru travelled through. So she was saying that the purple dots represent arnuli, which is a bush plum. The yellow represents either spinifex grass or the kalingpa, which is a honey grevillea flower. The green represents the trees and the scrubland. The blue is the water. The red, she said, is a bush tomato. And this lovely brown colour represents the dirt that we have out here.
Pala.
Pala jingaru chukupak chukuchuk. Nuduanga. Onalo. So I'm going to tell you just a little bit about these 7 sisters. So these 7 sisters came from the west and they travelled past Uluru and they were running away from this one man. And this one man, Wadi Niru, who is known as the cheeky man, is chasing after them. The 7 sisters travel past Katherine, past Uluru and over to Attila. There they start heading south and this cheeky man, Wadi Niru, follows after them, follows their footprints in the sand. He goes past Katherine, past Uluru and over to Attila. The 7 sisters then go all the way down to an area called Cave Hill. And there they decide to run as far away as possible from this cheeky man and they run up into the stars. And they become the constellation known as Pleiades. And Wadiniru, this cheeky man, he does not give up. He runs down to Cave Hill and chases them up into the stars. And he becomes the brightest star in Orion. Balya? Oh, and so today you can still see that cheeky man chasing those 7 sisters. Oh, Balya?
Oh, vale.
Oh, whoa. So, Kwari, now it's your turn to have a go at using these symbols that you learnt to do your own painting. Balya, so thank you very much for joining us. What?
Vala.
Balyo.
So that was just a little bit of a snippet of what people will experience during our dot painting workshops. After we've sat down on the ground and done our sand drawing, then everyone sits back up at the table and they have an opportunity to create their own dot painting using the traditional symbols. So we provide a symbol sheet and then they can use those symbols to create their story. Once that's done, we all sit back down together and then everyone goes around and shares their story of creation that they've made that is unique and personal to them. During the time when we're doing the painting, the Untitled artist sits down and they create a 30 by 30 metre canvas that can also be purchased by your guests on the day. Sometimes it will take a few extra canvases that have been pre-painted as well, because it can become a bit of a bidding war between the guests wanting to purchase that art that has been created on the day that they've had the experience. So we offer these as a FIT product and they cost is $72 for adults, $36 for children, and $198 for a family of 4, which is 2 adults and 2 children. Children's ages are from 5 to 15, and all children must be accompanied by a paying adult. So we offer this product on ResD, but we do have contracts with Hello World, AAT Kings, and numerous other providers as well, Backpacker Deals, Kentucky, etc. So the rates also are commissionable as well. So we can arrange that for you, and then it's just a matter of you emailing through to us. Some people have it automated so they can book through ResD automatically, or we can do that process with you. We also offer the dot painting workshop as a private experience as well, which we can facilitate out in the Uluru Katajuta National Park at the Cultural Centre, which provides a backdrop of Uluru in the background, and they do this under a wheelchair, which is just tucked behind our Maruku Arts Gallery, which offers a great opportunity to go into the gallery after experiencing the workshop. Another product that we offer is the Cave Art Tour, which is at the Kunia Walk, the Murujula Waterhole, and that opportunity or that experience gives your clients the opportunity to learn the Chukaricha, which is a stories held in stone at Uluru, and that goes for about an hour. What is a really amazing experience for people is when we couple the dot painting workshop in with the Kunia Walk, which is about a 3.5 hour experience. And then they go back to the gallery and it all ties in and they can see the stories that they've learned and how that is then transferred into the artwork that they may or may not purchase. Another product that we have as well is the bush medicine workshop. That runs for about 30 minutes. We also do traditional dances as well as, cultural talks and corporate events for small groups to very, very large groups. Is there any questions that anybody has in regards to our products?
There's
Hey,
been
Lauren.
one. Sorry.
Yeah. So we've just had Emily ask, what is the maximum group size for school groups?
We can run it out at the cultural centre. We can do up to 100 in the Inmar ground there. We find what we do though is when we have large groups like that, we split them down and we have half doing the Kunia Walk, half doing the dot painting workshop, and then we swap over. Works really, really well.
Amazing. Hopefully that's answered your question there, Emily. Yep, she said great.
Yeah.
All right. I think there's no more questions coming through, is there, Gabs? No. All right, well, thank you so much for that, Lauren. That's really interesting. It's a great video too, just to sort of understand how things work. It's a really beautiful video there and a fantastic dot painting workshop. I've done that one myself. So thanks so much. I'll have Lauren's details up at the end of this, so you can jot them down if you want to get in touch with her. Next up, we've got Patrina from Didj. Patrina, do you want to share your screen? And you're on. Yep.
Hello, how are we? Okay, so I'll start off here. Sorry, I just have to go back because I forgot to put the sound on. Sorry about that. Didn't tick the box. Okay, sorry about that, everybody. Okay, my name is Patrina Arison. I'm from Didj Cultural Experience. We're in Katherine, which is 332 kilometres south of Darwin. There's a map there to show you where we are from we're sort of 7 kilometres from the traffic lights in Katherine, going out towards the gorge. The gorge is only about 22 kilometres from where we are. We start off the cultural experience. You come into the gallery and you're given a Dalabon wristband, which makes you part of Manuel's tribe. Then we go into where we do our cultural experience, and Manuel starts off by playing the Didgeridoo, and then he sings a song using the clapsticks. After that, Manuel talks about his life living the traditional way. He actually didn't, he stayed living the traditional way till he was a teenager, and he didn't see a white person till he was 6. So that's, and the story about seeing his first white person is very, very interesting. And then he compares what it's like living now in town in a unit to what it was like living in the bush. And here he is telling us about the what he used to have for breakfast, which was a cheeky yam, and is explaining how his mother and grandmother used to prepare the cheeky yam for them to eat, either for breakfast or for the evening. And yes, he's just continuing on with the story there. Then we go on to do, once he's finished his talk, we go on to doing a Rark painting. And this is the style from the top end. White fellas call it cross-hatching, but Manuel calls it Rark. And that's when they do, people get to choose an animal or bush tucker, and they outline the bush tucker or the animal that they've done, and then they start doing lines inside the animal or the bush tucker. And when they get to doing the lines, they do 4 white lines. That means they're Dalabon. If they were Jawan, they would do 5 white lines, Mayali 3 white lines, etc. That's how you can tell where the art comes from in the top end. And we have here a little boy doing a painting, and Manuel's giving him a little bit of a hand. After we've done the painting, we do the fire lighting. Manuel explains the sticks, how he's made the sticks, and in the old days how they used to use a stone knife to make the holes in the stick, and he explains the names of the sticks, and then everybody gets to go rubbing the sticks, and one person gets the fire lit. Well, hopefully Manuel always hopes they do, otherwise it's left up to him. But 99% of the time we get somebody in the audience that can get the fire lit. And once they get the little ember, they put it into the grass that's provided there, blow on it, and we get the fire. And I never get tired of seeing the expression on people's faces once they've got the fire lit. Next, we have the spear throwing, and that's with Manuel shows them how to use a woomera and a spear, and they able to launch that into the red cutout kangaroo that we see there. And that's another very exciting thing that everybody loves to do, have an experience at. Then they come into the shop, and we've got our new gallery, and we've got, this is just showing you mainly some of the souvenirs we've got, and also some of the paintings that we have on the wall. We also sell didgeridoos, and they come from the top end, and we've got they're 100% painted by Aboriginal people, but they are made by a company here. The Aborigines that we used to get the didgeridoos from sadly have passed over. No one's sort of taken on the job. So, but we do explain that all to people, but they're 100% painted by Aborigines from this area. I'll just show you. Here's a little video.
Hello. You can come and do cultural experience with me, or come and see the gallery, or cuddle a wallaby like this one here. All right, you'll have good fun. What do you reckon, Tammy?
Now we have, this is our new gallery. This is the front of the new gallery, and we have this beautiful display of Manuel up the top there with our name and one of our wallabies. And you can see on the left-hand side, that's where we hold the cultural experiences. It's all done out in perspex, so it still feels like you're outside, because the cultural experience before we got the gallery built was outside. But we must admit we do like this new gallery because we don't have to worry about the wind used to come blowing through and knock everything off the table. So we're all very happy about that. Then we've got inside, we're coming through those electric doors there, and this is looking down from the mezzanine to the art gallery down below. And this is up on top of the mezzanine. This is where we've got our high profile artists. Our main artists were Paddy Fordham and Lorna Fencer on the back wall, the colourful artwork there. And there's we've got lots of wonderful didgeridoos, all good playing didgeridoos. And Manuel, of course, paints the didgeridoos too, and we sell his are very, very popular. And there's a few more of the, we get souvenirs from Better Art Worlds, and I go up to Injaluk and get their products, and Menangreta, and try and get a lot of their products to have in our shop. This is the new cultural experience, and this is a group we had in just a couple of days ago, and Manuel walking around helping people with their art. And you can see up on the wall, that's his demonstration. It goes from 1 to 6, so people just follow Manuel when Manuel tells them exactly what to do, and they end up with a masterpiece at the end. As you can see, these people here, they've got their beautiful paintings that they've done, and everyone's usually very happy. There's a beautiful crocodile that lady did. Well done. And then we've got the fire lighting, and everybody really enjoys doing that. And eventually we get somebody that gets a fire lit. Also on the wall, we have a map that shows you the top end, and there we can see it shows you the regions where the Aborigines come from. And then you've got Dullabon. So Manuel talks about his area and explains, like Rambarang, that's his mother, and Mayali, his father, so he can give a good explanation of where he's come from and where he used to walk around there when he was a child. Now I'm going to just end off with just a little video of Manuel.
Kamon, Maramanganga, what I said in my language, welcome to my country and welcome to Top Didj. Come and see me at Top Didj.
Wonderful. Thank you, Petrina.
Okay, thank you. And just to let everybody know, we have a booking system which is Fair Harbour, and our prices are adults $85 and children $55. And we do cater for buses that come in, and also we do have lots of schools coming in. I had Alawa School from Darwin coming in this morning. We had 25 students, and we've got another 25 coming in today. And also for those people that cannot make it to Katherine, we have got a virtual on our website that people can buy, and we sort of got into that doing virtuals with COVID, because of course we didn't get many visitors, so we decided to keep that going on our website. So is there any questions? Oh, and I forgot to show you, this is Paddy. We've always got little wallabies that people can have a cuddle with or feed sweet potato.
Very cute. And I don't think there were any questions come through with there, Gabrielle.
No, there haven't been, but you know, I've done Top Didj so many times, and I still love it every time. It's such a great experience. I haven't quite managed to hit the kangaroo with the spear yet, though, Katrina.
Oh, we have to come back and keep trying.
I know.
Well, it looks like a great product that's suitable for all ages, really. So that's a good one to add into an itinerary for people coming to Katherine. So thank you so much, Katrina. I'll have your details up on the last slide too, so people can drop them down if they want to get in touch with you with any questions.
Okay,
so just to wrap up, I'll just share my screen again and finish off. So further to the two products we've just heard about, Maruku Arts and Top Didj, the NT has got some amazing Aboriginal products on offer, which, you know, we like to showcase as well. So you might be familiar with some of the big operators. We have Kakadu Tourism, who run the Crocodile Hotel. We've got Nipmulook Tours, who have got tours in Katherine, and Voyages Indigenous Tourism Australia, who run Ayers Rock Resorts. So they are some of the big guys out there. But there are lots of smaller operators running, like Maruku and Top Didj, and plenty of others. So there's lots on offer. If you are wanting to get a little bit more information about some of these operators, we have some information on our trade website, and that's the trade.northernterritory.com/resources page, and there's a brochure in there that you can download, or you can get in touch with me to have if you've got any more questions. So just to wrap things up, so thank you so much for attending today, Lauren and Katrina. Their details are on the screen now. If you want to jot those down, if you need to get in touch, if you've got any questions about the NT, please get in touch with me. I will help you do what I can to help you. We know things are really busy at the moment in the Northern Territory, so I get a lot of emails with people looking for some alternatives, so please feel free to get in touch. And if you want to get onto our trade website, it's trade.northernterritory.com. So that's it from me. Thanks so much, everyone, and we will see you again next time.